Hello everyone. Today let's solve the Leetcode problem number 198. House robber. So what the question says, you are a professional robber planning to rob houses along the street. Okay, fine. Each house has a certain amount of money stashed. So they have certain amount of money already stashed. The only constraint stopping you from robbing each house is the adjacent house have the security systems connected. So the adjacent houses have the security systems connected, and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. So we shouldn't be robbing the two adjacent houses, it seems. So given an integer array nums representing the amount of money of each house, return the maximum amount of money that you can rob without alerting the police. So what they have given, we have the integer array nums, nothing but this one, 1 2 3 1 we have got here, and the amount of money of each house, so representing the amount of money of each house. So this is fine. Return the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. So this is what they have given. So we have to return the maximum amount of money, right, that we can rob tonight without alerting the police. Means, so we shouldn't be robbing the two adjacent houses, right? So the example they have given here is 1 2 3 1. So here we'll not rob this one. We are robbing the alternative houses, so it will be 1 plus 3, nothing but the 4. Here the same thing they have given, rob house 1, money 1, and then rob house 3, money equals 3. Total amount we can rob is 4. That's what we have got here. And example 2, same thing, we'll be instead of robbing the adjacent houses, we will be robbing the alternative houses. So it will be 9, 11 and 12. So that's what they have given here, right? The output will be 12. So let's write the code and try to understand with example 1, right? So let me come here. Initially what I'll do, I'll just create the table to store the, let's make use of the dynamic programming first. So let's create the table to store the maximum amount of money that can be robbed at each step. So the table size initially will be nums.length plus 2 to handle the edge cases. So this is simple. Let me write let table equals new array. We're just creating the array, right? This will be length of the nums plus 2. This is fine. Next, let's initialize the last two elements of the table to 0. So we are having the table, nothing but the arrays. We are extending that one to the last nums.length plus 2. So, and also what we are doing for the last two elements that we have extended in the table, we are initializing the last two elements of the table to 0, because there are no houses to rob after the last house. So we are not having any house left to, we are not having any house left after robbing the last houses, right? So we will initialize the last two elements of the table to 0. This will be table nums.length plus 0. This will be equal to 0. This is fine. One more this thing, table length of the nums plus 1. Last two we are initializing, last two elements of the table to 0, right? We are initializing. So this one will be, this is fine. Next what we'll do, we'll iterate from the last house to the first house. We are iterating from the last house to the first house, means we are iterating from the reverse order, right? So I'll just make use of the for loop. The last house will be nothing but length of the nums minus 1. The last index, nothing but the last index. So this will be I greater than or equal to 0. We are starting from the 0, right? Basically, 0th index. So I minus 1. This is fine. Next, let's calculate the maximum money if the current house is skipped. Whatever, after robbing the current house, if the current house is skipped, then we will calculate the maximum money, right? So for that, I'll just give sum. Let me take this one. Sum if skipped. So let me take this one. Sorry. table of I plus 1. We are skipping the current house, right? So I have given table of I plus 1. Next, let's calculate the maximum money if the current house is robbed. So we are robbing the current house now. What are all the things that we are including? One is the money from the current house and also the money from the house that is 2 steps ahead. Nothing but one, we cannot rob the adjacent houses, right? One is we are robbing the current house and the money from the house that is 2 steps ahead. Nothing but the alternative house. So how can we write that? I'll just give sum if robbed. This will be iterated value of the nums plus table of I plus 2. So this is simple. Next, what we'll do, we'll store the maximum of the 2 options in the table of the current houses. Basically, we'll get this one from the robbed, not the skipped, right? So we will get the max from the robbed itself, but we'll store the maximum of the 2 options in the table for the current house. How can we do that? I'll just get this one, table of I. Let's make use of the mat.max. So let me copy this one. Also, we'll get the max of sum if skipped and sum if robbed, right? So let me paste this one as well. So after doing this, what we'll do, the first element of the table now contains the maximum amount of money because we have iterated from right to left, nothing but the last house to the first house, right? So now the first element of the table now contains the maximum amount of money. This will clearly understand when we see the example one, right? That can be not starting from the first house. So we will be returning, we need to return the maximum amount of money, right? So that is in this one, first element. That is nothing but the first element. So we will be returning index of this one, table of 0. Nothing but the first element. So let me format the code. Let me hit the submit. So yeah, this code works completely correct. So let's try to understand this one by taking the example 1. Just give. So let's see, let's take this example and see step by step. So first what we are doing, we are creating a table of size nums of length of the nums plus 2, nothing but this step, right? So now there are currently 6 elements in the case, 4 elements this one, 4 elements we have took the numbers in the array, nothing but 1, 2, 3, 1, and additional to this one length we have extended and we are initializing that one to 0. So initially I'll just take the array. The last 2 elements will be 0 and 0, right? So that's what till here. So next what we are doing, we are iterating backwards through the house. This one, as I have explained, we are iterating backwards, right, through the houses. So we'll start from the last house, nothing but the index 3. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3 and extra with this one we have added. We have initialized 0 and 0 Next what we will do, we'll calculate for the each house. First, house 3, nothing but this one, right? So sum skip is initially it is 0, nothing but table of 4, nothing but it is 0. Table of 4 is 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is nothing but 0. Here sum if skipped is table of I plus 1 we have given. So table of I is nothing but now we are starting from the iteration from 3. Table of I plus 1 is nothing but 0. Sum skipped is 0. Sum if robbed is nums of 3 plus table of 5. Nothing but 1 plus 0, it will be 1. So now we have to calculate the table of 3 equals mat.max of 0, 1. nothing but we get 1. First value we get is 1. So this one is 1. Next, house 2. This one, iterating backwards. Next, this one will be 3. Right? So sum if skipped will be 1. Now, initially, table of 3 we have is 1. Why? Table of I plus 1. We are at this one, 3. Skip this, table of I plus 1, nothing but this one. It will be third index. Now the value will be 1. So sum if robbed is nums of 2 plus table of 4. Nothing but 3 plus 0 is 3. Now table of I will be nothing but table of 2. This will be mat.max of 1 and 3. So the value will be 3, right? Second value that we got is nothing but 3, right? Second value we got is 3. So 1 we will be adding here from the right side. The second value we got is 3. So as we are iterating backwards. So 1 we got 3. Next we will check for this one. First index, house 1, right? Now the sum if skipped will be 3. Why? It is a table of I plus 1. Nothing but we'll start here. I plus 1 is nothing but 3. Then sum if robbed is nums of 1 plus table of 3. Nothing but 2 plus 1, 3. Then mat.max of 3, 3 will be 3 itself. So we are updating the value. The third value that we got is 3. So we are updating value 3 here. This is fine. This is simple. Next, house 0. 0th index. Nothing but the house 0. This one, right? So sum if skipped will be 3. Why? Table of I plus 1. I plus 1 next to it. This will be this one. Sorry. Table of 1. Right? Yeah, it will be 3 itself. Just give me a second. Yeah, this one, right? Sorry. Yeah, it will be 3. And sum if robbed will be nums of 0 plus table of 2. Nothing but 1 plus 3. It will be 4. So mat.max of 3, 4 in this step we get as 4, right? So the value that we got is 4 now. We will be adding this one. So what? So this is finished, right? So the iteration is finished. Now the final result that we got is the maximum amount of money that can be robbed starting from the first house is stored in the table 0. You can see the code here. We have written the table of 0, nothing but the first element. We have iterated backwards, and now the maximum maximum amount of money that can be robbed starting from the first house is stored in table of 0. Nothing but we have written here, right? So in the table of 0 we have got the maximum value. This has to be the maximum value. Nothing but we got 4, right? So the output is 4. The answer that we got is also 4. So this works correctly, right? So this works completely correct. So let me delete this one. So same thing will you can check for the example 2 as well. The same steps, right? So I'll just delete this one. So what would be the time complexity and the space complexity? So the time complexity would be big O of n. Why the time complexity would be big O of n? Because we are iterating through the nums array. If you are seeing here, we are iterating through the nums array from backwards, right? So we are iterating through the nums array only once. So the time complexity is linear in relation to the size of the input array. So overall time complexity would be big O of n. So I'll just give here big O of n. What would be the space complexity? The space complexity is also linear, right? Because we are using the auxiliary table array of size nums.length plus 2. Nothing but this one, the first step. So we are making use of this one table, right? Array of size nums.length plus 2. So the overall space complexity would be big O of n as well. So I'll just come here. It would be big O of n. So let me comment this one. So yeah, now let me submit. Let me hit the submit once. So this works absolutely fine. So this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.